Hello and a warm welcome to the Sex Talk for Men podcast. I'm your host, Linda Connors, a sex hypnotherapist and confidence coach with over 15 years experience working with men who experience sexual problems. In this podcast, we will cover topics such as erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, and sexual anxiety, as we explore new ways to overcome these by taking specific steps guided by me. So let's begin. Hello and welcome to this new episode on Sex Talk for Men with Linda Connors. Today we'll be talking about how to shift from the performance mindset into the embodied mindset. I'll also be sharing some tips for a more present and pleasurable sexual experience. In this talk today, I'll also be covering the intrusive thoughts, the fear of failing, sexual fears, the mind and body connection, and the performance versus the embodied mindset. And I'll finish off with a meditation to bring all of this together. You may notice that a lot of my episodes always include meditations or other processes. This is because when we listen to a talk or a podcast, we tend to listen through our mind. And through meditation, it lands in the body and the genitals. By talking and then following on with the meditation, it's allowing all of you to be present and to be connected to what is shared here today. So let's begin. You know that thought that perhaps you have when you're about to initiate sex, or sex is about to start or has just started. For men, it can vary, especially if, you experience premature ejaculation, erectile dysfunction, or sexual anxiety. It tends to be, it's going to happen again. And what happens when you have that thought, it is going to happen again? It starts a cycle that leads you through the performance mindset, the fears, the anxieties, and very often the unwanted outcome that you're trying so hard not to achieve. The performance mindset focuses on the external factors of sex, how you're doing, what's happening with your penis, what's happening with your genitals. Are you about to ejaculate? Are you about to lose your erection? Is your partner enjoying this? Are you pleasing your partner? Are they going to have an orgasm? So in a way, the performance mindset is about achieving very specific sexual goals, meeting society's expectations of how a man should be during sex, and aiming for the performance goal outcomes, such as getting an erection, lasting longer, pleasing your partner. This mindset, the performance mindset, is often driven by a need to perform well, to please your partner, with the underlying need of feeling safe because you have ejaculation control, you have control over your erections. So a lot of your energy, a lot of your focus and awareness goes into this performance mindset, trying to control every aspect of your sexual experience. And this often has the opposite impact because it creates more pressure, more stress, and anxiety to perform, leading to a hyper focus on outcomes rather than being present in the moment. So in this performance mindset, where your main aim is to be sexually successful, you are going about it in the wrong way because it's creating more stress, more anxiety, and more fear within you. So let's go back to that thought that I mentioned earlier. It's going to happen again. So what happens when you have this thought? It engages the performance mindset because then you strive to ensure that it doesn't happen again. But that thought is very much a surface level thought. even though it may have a very physical impact on you with your fears, with anxiety, your thoughts, your mindset. Because underneath this thought are different layers and levels of what's happening in your inner world. Because that thought, it's going to happen again, is connected to your inner sexual fears, to your inner beliefs, to how you see yourself as a man, and also core inner wounds, such as I am not good enough. So in a way, every time you have that thought, it engages with this inner world, the different layers and levels underneath that thought, as well as connecting to your past negative experiences, past memories, and unwanted negative thoughts. One of the things I teach my clients is the sexual cycle. So for an example, a sexual cycle for a man with PE. The sexual cycle is the point from arousal or initiation of sex to the end point of sex. An example of this is a man who may have PE. So the first point on this sexual cycle, so imagine it's a circle, and on this circle, there's different trigger points. The first point at the top is very much often the unwanted thought, it's going to happen again. This thought sets off a chain reaction, an unconscious chain reaction. It's a well-known pattern within you because it's been repeated many times. The next point in this sexual cycle is the anxiety, the sexual fears. The next point is hyperfocus. What's happening in my penis? Am I going to ejaculate too soon? Am I going to please my partner? How quickly is this going to be over? Then the next point on this sexual cycle is the hyperarousal and the hypersensitivity. And then this leads into the point of no return, loss of control, and then ejaculating too quickly. So this sexual cycle, as it currently stands, is very much underneath the performance mindset. Because during these different points on this sexual cycle is triggers, memories, unwanted behaviors, unwanted responses, all linked into the desire to get the specific sexual outcome, which is to gain ejaculation control. One of the mistakes many men make when they're trying to get ejaculation control, and this also includes erectile dysfunction as well, is that they're trying to use the same mind or mindset that created the issue in the first place, indirectly or directly. So it's going to be really difficult to get ejaculation control when you are in the performance mindset all the time, because this pattern is going to keep repeating and repeating. And this leads down to a deeper level of the fear of failing. What will my partner think of me? Is she going to leave me? Am I going to be rejected? Or for some men who are single, I can't date or meet anyone new until I get this sorted. And at the depth of all of this is the sexual fears. I meet my clients in the depth of their sexual fears. The fear that they can't change this, the fear that they're going to be stuck with this issue, either not able to control their ejaculation, not able to get and maintain their erections, the fear of constantly be anxious about sex. And as I said earlier, this all leads to sexual pressure, sexual fears, sexual anxiety, self-doubt, which all impact the sexual performance and the enjoyment of sex. And then there's the body image for some men, worried about the penis size, worried about how their body shape looks. Fear of judgment, which then all leads to impacting self-confidence. So as you can see, you are not just having that thought. There is a whole inner world that is activated when you have that thought, it's going to happen again. And this is the mind and body connection. The mind and body connection is such an important part of life, of relationships, of intimacy, creativity, and of course, sex. It connects the mental and the physical aspects of sexual experiences. And when the mind is in sync during sex, the sexual experience just flows. There's a creative sexual energy that leads the experience rather than leading with fear or anxiety or the performance mindset. So under this performance mindset, when the mind and body is not in sync and you have that thought, it's going to happen again. In a way, your mind is sending that message down into your body, into your genitals. And the mind and the body and genitals respond on an unconscious level to this thought, because this has happened many times before. The muscle memories, the body conditioning is there. So you become conscious of yourself, hyper-focus on your thoughts, your emotions, your body and genitals. So in summary of the performer mindset, the performer mindset is the external lens that you are looking at through your sexual experiences that also connect to the mind and body connection, to your thoughts, to your sexual cycle. And when you are trying to fix your sexual problem from this performance mindset, it's going to be very hard and very difficult. You are going to remain stuck. And this is where the embodied mindset comes in. The embodied mindset is about being present, about being calm and embodied. And I know at this stage you may be thinking, how can I be embodied when all of this is happening in the performance mindset? And I really understand this. And this is where small steps come into place. Steps of acceptance, self-love, self-compassion, being mindful, being connected to yourself. Not looking at the specific goal that you want to achieve, but beginning to break it down into these smaller steps. And through that, you will begin to embody the embodied mindset. You will begin to become it. The embodied mindset involves a deeper connection with your own body, your sensations, your desires, as well as being connected to your partner as well. The embodied mindset focuses on pleasure, connection, desires, vulnerability, rather than focusing on achieving the specific sexual goals. And initially, being connected to the embodied mindset is not about getting ejaculation control, getting erection control, feeling calmer, overcoming sexual anxiety. That is more the later goal. The first steps is to be more present and connected within you. And here are some tips for you to be able to achieve this. The first step is practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is the ability to be present with whatever is unfolding around you and within you. Focusing on your sensations, your breathing, and the physical connection between you and your partner. And here, in mindfulness, in the embodied mindset, if you have that thought, it's going to happen again. Simply accept that that thought is there and then return back to your breathing, back to your breath. If that thought continues being very intrusive, I do have some other episodes on how to stop overthinking, as well as one of the steps initially may also be just sending compassion and self-love to that thought. That thought is a part of you for whatever reason. So if you are harsh or critical to that thought, you are being harsh and critical on yourself. The next tip is breath work. By practicing slow, deep breaths, helps you to relax in your mind and body and to stay grounded in your body, while also being able to enjoy and experience the sexual pleasures. And as you practice some breath work, it will help you to become more embodied within yourself. The next step may be difficult for you, especially if you just started your sexual journey, is to let go of expectations, to let go of the desired outcome that you want. Ejaculation control, erection control, to stop feeling sexually anxious. I really understand how important that is for you. However, at the start of your journey, or even in the middle of your sexual journey, if you have listened to a few of my podcasts, my episodes, if you keep having those expectations, they are going to become barriers on this path that are going to keep you stuck and anchored into the unwanted responses. And my last tip is communication with your partner. This may be difficult for some men, especially if they feel really vulnerable, shame, anxious about their sexual challenges. To even speak to the partner about it can feel impossible. I've had quite a few men who, during our initial consultation, they've shared with me that I am the first person that they have ever shared this with. They have not even been able to talk about this with their partners because they're too anxious, they're too nervous, they're not sure how they would respond. And there's a lot of shame within them at a deep level that blocks them from communicating. And when you're able to step into the vulnerability of sharing, and if it feels comfortable sharing this with your partner, it's going to build a platform of trust, of support, that you don't have to work this out yourself. So remember, the goal of sex is not about your performance, regardless of how important that is for you at this moment. It is about connection. It is about being embodied, pleasure and intimacy. And there are many of my episodes that will be able to support you on the physical aspects of your sexual challenges. And this episode is purely focusing on the embodiment mindset. So now I would like to finish off with a meditation. We're going to, through this meditation, it's going to be a journey through the performance mindset and the embodied mindset, just so that you're able to experience the possibilities of the embodied mindset in your mind, body, and genitals. And of course, if you're listening to this podcast in a car, please not do this meditation or when it's unsafe to do so. So let's begin by taking a couple of gentle, deep breaths into the body. Breathing in calmness. And releasing any tightness, tension, or discomfort on the out breath. And repeat this a couple of times. Nothing forced or pushed. Just allowing your body and your breath to respond in the way that is right for you here today. And in a curious way, each breath that you take relaxes your body more deeply, letting go as you drift all the way down into comfortable levels of calmness and of relaxation. And allowing your mind and your imagination to drift now. Imagine your feet are standing on a path, connecting to the earth. Around you is a wide open space somewhere in the countryside. Feeling safe and secure, feeling your feet connecting to the earth, feeling grounded as you take a few breaths of this pure, fresh air into your body, into your being. And you begin to walk on this path. Each step relaxes you even more. And in the distance, you notice this path separates and goes into two different directions. And as you get closer, you realize that these two different directions represent the performance mindset and the embodied mindset. You walk down the left-hand side path, which is the performance mindset. And here, in this performance mindset path, you become aware of your thoughts, your beliefs, the sexual patterns, the sexual behaviors in your body that are all connected to the performance mindset, as well as the mind and body connection, the intrusive thoughts, the sexual fear. And you acknowledge them. You accept that they are there, for they are part of your history, even though they may feel uncomfortable. And imagine sending a loving energy out towards them, an energy of love and compassion. And then you leave this path, returning back to the path that you arrived on. And here you have a choice to continue walking down the performance mindset, repeating the same patterns, the same behaviors, the thoughts, the outcome. Or you can begin a new journey. A journey into the embodied mindset. So you begin to take steps forward into the embodied mindset, walking along this new path, starting a new journey. Initially, it may feel unknown and unfamiliar. And noticing how abundant this path is. Abundant with nature, with trees, with flowers, with shrubs. There is a life and energy here. And taking 3 gentle breaths into your body in the embodied mindset space. And as you breathe in, repeating embodiment. And as you breathe out, receiving the embodiment in your body. Feeling the energy flowing through your body. Each part of you connected. Your mind, your body, your heart, your genitals. Getting a sense of what your new beliefs are here. I am capable of change. I am not my path. I am learning to be embodied, connected, and present. And so breathing in to the count of 2 through your nose. Holding for half a second. And then breathing out to the count of 4 through your mouth. In through your nose to the count of 2. Pausing for half a second. And then breathing out through your mouth to the count of 4. And here in the embodied mindset, getting a sense. Imagine your partner is standing there with you. Noticing what feels different here in this space. If you are single, imagine a future sexual partner. If the unwanted thought appears, bring your awareness to your breath and your breathing. Sending love and compassion to that thought. And here in this space, just get used to being with your partner in this embodied mindset. Feeling connected, grounded, present within yourself. And if it feels difficult to connect with that at this stage, that is okay. Practice being an extra 5% embodied, 5% connected and present within yourself. And getting a sense of what that extra 5% presence, embodiment and connection feels like. How is that beginning to feel different? Notice the way you move, your beliefs, your body language, the connection to your body, the presence of your body and yourself. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes, counting from 1 to 5. And at the count of 5, open your eyes and coming back into your space. And coming back with the echo of the embodiment mindset. You have planted a seed here, deep within you, of the embodiment mindset that is going to continue to grow and flourish. So that at some point in your future, you will become the embodiment mindset. So getting ready now to open your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Open your eyes and coming back into your space. And just taking a moment just to take a couple of breaths as you return back into your space, into your energy. And just a couple of things about the embodied mindset is the embodied mindset is not about perfection. It's not about, at this stage of your journey, it's not about ejaculation control, erection control, stopping sexual anxiety. Although it is one piece that will help you achieve that. This is the next step in your journey. And you've planted a seed here today that's been connected to your mind, your body, your genitals. And this is going to support you moving forward with the awareness that you can shift from the performance mindset into the embodied mindset. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. And before I finish today, I just want to announce, I'm pretty amazed by this. Thank you all for your listening, your likes, your comments, subscribing to my channels or Spotify, subscribing to my YouTube channel and Spotify and Apple. As of today, I have over 65,000 listeners. So deep within my heart, deep gratitude to you all for being part of this podcast, because I do it for you and I really enjoy doing it and sharing this work with you all. So I hope you all have a blessed day. Take care, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Many blessings. I hope you have enjoyed this free episode. If you would like to work with me more deeply, you're invited to schedule your free initial consultation at sexualsolution.co.uk. The link is in the description. And thank you to the men who have reached out and shared how much this podcast is supporting you to make sexual changes. I wish you all the success on your continued journey. If you have found this episode and podcast to be of benefit, please consider donating so I can keep offering this work. Any amount is appreciated. If you are not in a position to donate, there are other ways to help, from following me in Apple, Spotify, or YouTube, liking or making a comment, and this will help the podcast to reach more men who are seeking to heal and solve their sexual problem. Thank you for being here with me in this space, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Take care and blessings.